hand not unlike your own, Angela Shelton dices and dines, learns and loves. The only thing she cannot seem to do is play by the rules. So here we find her, stirring up recipes for your body and mind. Today, Angela churns the business of bonding into the basics of friendship.
Hey there. Women can spend an awful lot of time hating on each other, but here on Stirring Up Trouble, we support BFFs, chocolate gravy, and gossip-free sleepovers. So tonight, I'm having my gal pals Kimberly Brown and Kimleigh Smith over for a slumber party. What better way to bond than over chocolate, over biscuits, overnight? It's time for a Stirring Up Trouble flashcard. Select one for a focus of the day. Play! Play is just as important as working, so schedule in playtime like you would a conference call or a meeting. And remember, when play starts, everything else must stop. So schedule in play. You'll be thankful that you did. When I grew up, every weekend we had chocolate gravy biscuits. And my grandmother talked about the importance of bonding together. So I'm going to make chocolate gravy biscuits. I called my grandma today to tell her that I was going to have a slumber party and make chocolate gravy biscuits, and she was like, "You're doing what?" I asked her to give me the recipe again, and she was like, "Biscuits? Honey, don't waste your time. Just get Bisquick. You got to meet my friend Kimberly." Oh, geez, she's right here. Come on in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Kimberly played me in Tumbleweeds, the movie about my mother. Well, you definitely know my family. You know how you make biscuits and gravy? Instead of regular old gravy, you make chocolate gravy. And since we're having a slumber party, I thought we needed chocolate. Rolled flour all over the cutting board, and then you put your big lump of biscuit dough in the middle, and then you knead it together, and then you just roll it and knead it. Flour on your hands, and then you want to roll it out with a rolling pin.
You put flour on it so it doesn't stick.
I think it's important for women to bond together as opposed to hating on each other, right?
Of course.
And you know what it is? I sat down with my grandmother and got her a little lit on Chardonnay one time, and I asked her what her problem was.
Oh.
Because my grandmother was mad. She was really mad. And you know what it was? She wanted to paint. She wanted to paint and be creative, and I'm sure hang out with all her girlfriends and not have all them youngins rolling around, and ended up mad and mean to everybody. So what do we know from that? What do we learn from that? Paint and have fun and be with your lady friends, right?
Yes.
Look what I'm doing. Take a glass like this and then just press it in the dough. Makes a little pop. I rolled this to about 1/2 inch thick.
Yeah.
And this might be kind of a thin biscuit. We'll hope that they lift up. All you do is lay the biscuits out. You preheat the oven to 450. Usually things are 350, but for biscuits it's 450 degrees. That's hot. You do it for 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how brown and fluffy they get.
You should probably put on the second rack too. Like not the very top, because then the top burns faster than the bottom.
As they're in the oven, I'm going to make chocolate gravy.
Here comes Johnny Appleseed to teach us that staying at home doesn't make you a loser.
Entertainment and eating out are one of the biggest expenses to gnaw at your pocketbook, so why not think outside the box? Invite your friends over for a dinner party and try a new recipe from Stirring Up Trouble. Instead of sending your kids off to the movies, why not keep them at home and have a game night? When you make your home your playground, you not only save gas and money, you also create an environment for you and your family that is safe. With all the money you're saving by being eco-friendly, you can invest in a new home entertainment center, or even buy a new laptop computer so you can watch episodes of Stirring Up Trouble. I'm gonna go play doctor.
You know Kimleigh. Everybody knows Kimleigh. My biscuits are done. Don't look at my underwear. Those are done, and we're gonna make the chocolate. I'm gonna make chocolate gravy. By the way, this is a double boiler. Do you know what a double boiler is?
No.
It's when you put a pan on top of another pan with boiling water. Otherwise, you're gonna burn everything. I do 3 cups of milk. I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of sugar. 4 tablespoons of chocolate. I use dark chocolate. And 4 tablespoons of flour and an egg. I would actually go home specifically to get chocolate gravy biscuits. And then every time I go home, my grandmother always lectures me on men, right? And she's like, you don't need a guy. Men only want sex. Like, Gran, everybody wants sex. I want sex. She totally stared at me, deadpan, so serious, and was like, get into the shower with the soapy washcloth and take care of it then. And then I was like, is that what you do? And she's like, have a biscuit. Like, my grandmother would always be like, women need to bond, but then hate the men. I don't hate men.
No, I don't hate men.
So women should bond and love the men. I'm just stirring this until it gets thick.
What's the temperature? You put it on high?
Yeah.
She's having a flashback to childhood. I've had biscuits and gravy because I'm from Kansas, but like chocolate gravy biscuits, yum.
That's so good. Alright. You two go get in bed. I want to make you this special little drink and then serve it to you, you know, like queens. Because you're queens. Women can be really mean to other women. Actually, it started for a reason. When women first landed on the great soils of America, you had to get married in order to move up in society. Marriage was a cause for celebration because you could get land. And then once you got married, your husband owned your land. The best way to get even or to get rid of women around you and get the guy was to start a rumor. It was very exciting if you got a really good rumor, because then there was no way that woman was going to get your guy. Women no longer need to fight. We can celebrate our unity and our freedom because we can buy our own property and our own rings. By the way, add a little bliss tea to your champagne and it gives it a boost of blissfulness. Of course, don't do this if you're an alcoholic. It's good to share, even with your imaginary friends.
Oh my god, here comes the...
This is my
Chocolate!
This is my favorite thing in the world.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's insanity.
I just chopped the biscuits in half, put a slab of butter, and then pour chocolate gravy over it, and it takes about, like 15 minutes to make this whole meal. I'm talking about women hating women and being against women and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. I was speaking at this jailhouse one time, and I was talking to them about how you have to remove your own stuff and then use that anger or resentment that you have to do something creative. Like, I have always wanted to play the guitar, like ever since I was a little kid. And my jerk of a father, he came into my life again when I was like 14 and asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I said, I want an electric guitar. That's all I want is an electric guitar. So he got me a doll's house. Makes sense. And so I took an axe to it and I chopped it into pieces and I burned it. So I was like, ladies, as an example to others, I'm going to practice what I preach and like do something creative with my anger and rage. I'm going to learn how to play the electric guitar, and I will sing a song about chopping my doll's house into pieces with an axe. And they were like, and then I have to go back in April.
And then sing the song.
Next week is Yom Kippur, and Jesus is coming.
Really?
Yeah.
You invited Jesus.
Oh, that's
I did.
right. You told me about him. Maybe you have
I
to
wanna
teach
take
me.
your guitar.
Oh, that guitar is
Can we trade
gorgeous.
guitars?
Next week I have to ask for forgiveness. What am I going to ask for forgiveness for?
Oh, what aren't you going to ask for forgiveness for?
Stir up trouble. Stir up trouble. Stir up trouble.